We are out in Shell Ridge, and I just found the coolest Bryophyte clump. Bryophyte is just a fancy scientific name for moss. So it looks like this guy was probably growing on a tree because I found it underneath a tree. We've got a mud girl over there. You guys can see her. She's pretty cute.
I'm entertained for mud, Mom.
You are entertained with mud, yeah.
Are you entertained?
But basically, Bryophytes are just a special type of plant in the small. So mosses, right? Really, really, really tiny. They're not gonna care about the Bryophytes, Willow. Wait, careful going down the rocks there. So Bryophytes are really awesome at holding water for an ecosystem. So if you find Bryophytes all along rocks or all along the ground, they're holding water. The other interesting thing about Bryophytes is they don't have root systems like plants do, like normal plants do. Bryophytes have very, very shallow pseudo roots. That way they can grow on top of rocks, but they don't need roots to grow into the soil. So we found a fallen tree and it looks pretty charred, like maybe it was burnt, which is kind of interesting. But what I am really interested in is the shelf fungi on it. So fungus is the main organism, right? We've got animals, we've got plants, and we've got fungi. But instead of producing seeds or fruit like an apple, a fungus will produce a mushroom most of the time, and in the mushroom you'll get spores instead of seeds. Now, not all mushrooms look like that typical mushroom that comes out of the ground with that little top. Some mushrooms, especially the ones that grow on trees, are going to be shelf mushrooms or shelf fungi, and they look just like it sounds, like a shelf. So you guys can zoom in here. Here's the shelf fungi. See, it's growing out of the tree like a shelf. Now, I'm not exactly sure what species this is, so I wouldn't recommend you touching it necessarily. But a common shelf fungi that people eat all the time is turkey tail. Turkey tail is a fungus that's super, super good for your immune system, and it just grows on trees like a little shelf. That's it. Hello. This tree has a bunch of different types of organisms on it, and I thought it would be really cool to show you how they're all just living in harmony. So the first things that you can notice are grass and weeds growing directly on the tree. Then you notice bryophytes, one type of species here of bryophyte next to another type, and those are just the ones that jump out to me as being two different species. There might be more here, but I'm not super well versed in bryophytes. And then if you move over here, we have two different kinds of lichens. I posted a lesson on the different kinds of lichens. There are three different kinds: crustose, foliose, and fruticose. So on this tree, I see all three types. We've got some crustose here, which just looks like crust. Then we've got some foliose, which looks like low-lying leaves. And then we have fruticose over this direction. I don't know if we'll be able to capture it in the video. Let's see. No, we might just have... Oh, yes, here we go. There's a perfect fruticose. So fruticose are going to look like leaves as well, but they're going to be way more 3D. So this is actually a great spot. You can see the crustose, the foliose, and the fruticose all next to each other. You can see how they look different. All on one tree hanging out. This is another cool example of crustose lichen. We've got like almost a pinky purpley color here, bluish green and yellow. all these are different kinds of lichen coexisting on this one rock.
Yeah. That's bad. So, cool things on this rock.
What kind of cool things? Are there bryophytes?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's different kinds of bryophytes. We can see there's a red type of bryophyte here. This is cool. I don't know what's going on here, but this is a type of bryophyte. We've got another green one down here and even another green one there. Lots of different kinds. Again, all living on one rock together.
Yeah. Kind of different.
Yeah.
I can put my finger on the difference.
You got it.
You can put your finger right up here, then your finger off.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them anything about the bryophytes or the lichen? Willow, is there anything you want to tell them?
Yeah.
What do you want to tell them?
There's lots of good different things.
Yeah, that's true.
And when
All right. All right. You can see in lots of the trees around this area, you get these big holes. Those are made by woodpeckers. But then the funny thing is, the woodpeckers pop their holes, they get their bug, whatever they're trying to get. But then the squirrels come back and they hide their acorns in these holes. So now most of these holes are empty right now because the squirrels have come back for their acorns. But this one looks like it still has the remnants of an acorn. So there's, on one of the trails up here, there's a tree that is just filled with acorns and it's pretty funny to see. But this one, it looks like the squirrels came back for their acorns. All right, that's it for this video lesson. This is just a nature walk. I want you guys to get outside. I want you guys to look at the little things that you normally would walk past. Normally we'd walk past trees, fallen trees or rocks, and not notice all the different little creatures and organisms on it. But I want you guys to go out and look at things like that and really start questioning. When we first went out and we saw those holes with the acorns in it on the tree, we're, what is this? And then we started coming up with ideas to figure out what happened and did some research. I want you guys to have that same curiosity, and I want you to get outside even if it's raining. Have a good week. You'll never know, and you'll never hear the wolf cry to the blue corn moon. Did you actually?
Yeah.